Mr. Chairman, would you like to call the meeting to order?
Okay, and in Tokyo time, 4 o'clock, 9 minutes. In Manila, 3 o'clock, 9 minutes. And let's go to the order. Let's start this year's annual meeting. So, Santi, Mr. Secretary General, please check the quorum.
Yes, before I do that, Mr. Chairman, may I flash on the screen the notice that we sent, the notice of the meeting and the meeting agenda.
Okay, please.
Mitch, this is the agenda. Call to order, roll call, approval of the minutes, affirmation of election result, chairman's report, secretary general's report, financial report, the committee report, and adjournment. Okay, that is the agenda, ladies and gentlemen. May I now go and determine the quorum. Mitch, will you? These are the list of the members of and official representatives who are right with us right now by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, this is not the latest, Mitch. So, but anyway, may I do a roll call alphabetically by country? Bahrain Islamic International Rating Agency, represented by Mr. Fahim Ahmad. Present? Just make an acknowledgement that you are present.
Yeah, present.
From Bangladesh Credit Rating Information and Services Limited, CRISIL, Mr. Muzaffar Ahmed, President and CEO. I saw him. From CRAB, Credit Rating Agency of Bangladesh, by proxy, we have a proxy from the CEO. From Brickwork Ratings India Private Limited, we have a proxy held by Ms. Raji, Chief Ratings Officer, a proxy from Mr. Vivek Kulkarni, and she is here with us. K Ratings Limited, Mr. Mehul Pandya, Executive Director. From Infomerics Valuation and Rating Private Limited, Mr. BK Bajaj, Chief Executive Officer. Mr. Bajaj, please acknowledge. Are you there? From Japan Credit Rating Agency, Mr. Atsushi Masuda, Counselor and Chief Analyst, International Department. From Malaysia Rating Corporation, Berhad Mark, the Group CEO, Datuk Nazir, Group CEO of Mark. From RAM Rating Services, Berhad, Mr. K.S. Chong, Senior Group General Manager. From VIS Credit Rating Company Limited, Ms. Farial Fahim, Deputy CEO. And from, where am I now? From
Here from Pakistan,
Mr. Shahad Salim, Chief Executive Officer, ACRAA. Ms. Angelica Bibeloria, Officer in Charge of Field Ratings. Mr. Yan Yang, Chairman, China Chengxin International Credit Rating Company Limited, represented by proxy, and present here Ms. Christine Zhang. Mr. Zhang Jingping has a proxy delivered to me. He is General Manager of Research Department for Far East Credit Rating. For Taipei, China, Ms. Grace Lee, President of Taiwan Ratings Corporation. And from Turkey, I mean, I'm just checking my list. I'm just checking my list. From ACRAA Eurasia Rating, Mr. Fikret Center, Director. And that is it. So we have a total, Mr. Chairman, of 16 members represented, 4 with proxies. So we have a quorum to conduct our business.
Good.
16 out of 27.
Okay, so let's have a meeting.
Now for the next item in our agenda, Mr. Chairman, members of ACRAA, we present for approval the minutes of our last annual meeting, which we shall flash on the screen and scroll. These materials have been given to all of you in advance. We hope you had time to go over them. We will just scroll for a fast review. The minutes of our annual meeting held last year, December 7, 2020, by Zoom. So this was the attendance. Can we just scroll slowly? Okay. We will need to get everybody's signature on this annual, on this minutes subsequently. Okay, with that presentation and with the advance copies given to each one of you, may we entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our annual meeting held virtually last December 7, 2020.
I propose for the.
So it has been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the annual meeting held December 7, 2020. We shall now move to the next item in our agenda, and this is the report of the results of the election for the new board of directors. And we have presented the election committee headed by Mr. Chong, with members Angel, Viloria, and myself. We presented this to the board. It was approved, and we have already announced it. So what we are going to do right now is really just a formal affirmation of the results. And can we just show the slide of the report? And Mr. Chong, can you just highlight? Can we have Mitch?
Yes, Mr. Sandy, I'm just showing it. Just
Oh,
give me
so
1
it's yours.
second.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Just the results. Mr. Chong, could you just highlight or read through our report?
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, all members. The election committee had looked at all the votes, including the nominations and all the votes, and the votes tally. And the result is as per presented to in the paper to all the members. We elected of a total total votes count, I think there were about, what was it, 7? I can't remember the number, but the numbers are valid. We
you can
finally
scroll it some more. It's there.
determined that the 7 members, 7 persons with the top highest votes are elected into the board. The names are as per the listing. I don't want to waste time reading it, because you have all read the report.
So that is the report of the elections committee approved by the board, already announced to the membership. And it is for good order, Mr. Chairman, can we entertain a motion to affirm the election results and
Okay, anybody
congratulate the new members of the board?
motion?
Okay, I propose.
Yes,
again.
Okay.
Any second, please? Angel?
yes,
Okay. Did I hear that second?
I can second it, Mr. Santi.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So it has been moved and seconded to affirm the results of the election of for a new board of directors to serve the 2-year term 2022 and 2023. For
Okay,
the
so-
information of the members, the new board held a caucus a little over a week ago, and decided how to organize themselves. And all this we will formalize in a formal organizational board meeting after this annual meeting. So may I give the highlights of the organization as decided by the new board, which we will formalize in a formal organizational board meeting after this annual meeting. For chairman, we have re-elected Mr. Atsushi Masuda, Counselor and Chief Analyst, International Department.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And for vice chairman, we have re-elected the old-timer, really old-timer, Mr. Fahim Ahmad, President for Strategic Planning and Global Relationship, Islamic
very much.
International Rating Agency. And by recommendation of the chairman and approval of the board, we have this old man, Santi Dumlao, continuing as Secretary General, and Ms. Mildred Mitch Velayo as Executive Assistant. At your service, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. And here are the committees and desks. These are the working committees. We can add more committees. And from here, we are going to invite members of ACRAA, not necessarily representative, but even members of ACRAA, to join in these committees or working desks. For membership, the chairman of the committee is Mr. Muzaffar Ahmed. He will be, in a sense, our gatekeeper, and he will review all applications for membership. For the information of everybody, we have the latest inquiry was from PITIC Indonesia Credit Rating Agency. We have also received an inquiry from Iran and from Hong Kong. Over a year ago, we also received an expression of interest from Vietnam. So these are the things that this committee will have to review in this coming year. For our communications committee, we have Ms. Farial Fahim, who is going to be the chairperson. She's our technical resource person, but she is nothing but looking technical because I will not use any more adjective because I was going to say beautiful, charming, adorable, etc. But it doesn't seem to be appropriate in an annual meeting. But anyway, thank you, Farial.
Thank you. Thank you.
We
More
will
than
listen
happy to
more
be
to
here.
her afterwards. Now,
Thank you.
training and programs. This is a big committee, and we will be inviting a lot of all of you who are listening in here to join us in this committee. The chairman of the Training and Programs Committee is Mr. Yan Yan of CCXI, and co-chairman is Mehul Pandya. And Mr. Fahim Ahmad is the senior member. I don't know why we put senior with there, but you know, it's rather obvious actually. But just to distinguish him from the young members. But this is, but you know, Mr. Yan Yan has a concurrent going on annual meeting also with his shareholders right now. So he, on his behalf, I say please excuse him, but Miss Christine is here with us representing Mr. Yan Yan. We have now this, we have been listening to all of this ESG thing, but this is a big thing. So Mr. Atsushi Masuda, this is his domain, and he has a lot of ideas on this. Miss Grace Lee has been doing excellently, heading the New Horizons Committee and the ABA desk. So we will continue with Miss Grace Lee, but expanding her responsibilities to not just to Asia, but to Europe. And this is the European Association of Credit Rating Agencies. You might recall that Ms. Grace Lee headed our New Horizons Committee up to now, but we have decided that all these committees really are all about New Horizons. So Ms. Grace Lee is going to expand beyond Asia and on to Europe. Thank you, Grace. Now for special projects and publications, we have Mr. Mehul Pandya as chairman and Mr. Yan Yan as co-chairman. And you see they have interchanged training and programs. The special projects really are low. We have some existing special projects. First, we have the Joint Platform Project, co-chaired by Mr. Fahim Ahmad and Mr. Thomas Misong of European Asian Credit Rating Agencies. That is ongoing. So Mr. Fahim Ahmad is the project lead. Mr. Muzaffar Ahmad, now we have created the SME desk. And as you have seen in the presentations earlier, the SME is still a very important sector in so many of the countries represented in ACRAA, India, Bangladesh, Philippines, everywhere. So why Mr. Muzaffar? Because a lot of the rating agencies really in Bangladesh are really very oriented to SME ratings and have a lot of experience on that. We want them to give us a little more focus and share those experiences with the rest of the members of ACRAA. And the last of the committees is we have the annual meeting conference. So we have Mr. Atsushi Masuda, the chairman himself, to chair the committee. Now, what is the difference between training programs and conferences? Well, training and programs are a little more inner directed to our membership and ourselves. But conferences are bigger events where we intend to invite non-ACRAA members, both as speakers and as audience. as I mentioned, for example, earlier, our discussions in the next 10 years, that really deserves to be a conference in itself. So members of ACRAA, this is the organization we have for 2022-2023. You will be invited as members, and we might be, as is fitting, have more committees or subcommittees or desks to support all these programs. And that, Mr. Chairman, is the end of my explanation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can we just note this, Mr. Chairman?
Yes. But before this one, I'd like to say thank you very much to the Mr. Chong, Mr. Angelica, who was serving about the election committee, and including Santi for performing of those election committee. And also that the new forthcoming committee structure is determined, and we have to making a kind of a attractive working program in the forthcoming months. Thank you, Santi. Please proceed.
Okay, the next item in the agenda, Mr. Chairman, is the chairman's report.
Okay, the report has been already distributed. I should be cut it short. And maybe this one is a kind of a collection of everything. And first, this year was a very difficult year as a result of the COVID impact. But good part is maybe importance of the credit rating is now highlighted because of uncertainty. And the second one is if COVID pandemic is doing something good, and one thing is maybe digitalizations. We facilitate our use of this and this tool, and so that is the progress underscored. First page, and we noted the ongoing board members. And Mr. Fahim Ahmed, Rahi Karagol, Mustafa Ahmed, Luo Guang, and Grace Lee, Fahim Fariar. And I'd like to say thank you very much to everybody who is serving as a board member of ongoing 2-year term. Maybe our relation is going to be reported by Grace, but we had a very good relation, had a very good seminar of with ACRAA for particular at the rating platform, and thanks to the initiative to Fafim. And I noted in a board meeting, and maybe 6 board meetings took place, all via Zoom. And thanks to the communication committee, board meeting was conducted very smoothly. Election result is already announced by secretary, and the training activities, we did a training by Green Bonds in co-sponsor ADB. Physical training is a little bit constrained because of the COVID, but we are going to revive for this training with the enhanced member of training committee in the coming year. I set about global visibility that for a series of seminars. And this series of seminars, I think it's a very good one theme is entail or several series of meetings. For Green Bonds 2 meeting, the capital market 3 meetings, the chief rating officer roundtable 2 meetings. So this is a very good tool to expand, to cover different material. Communications, I return to the Fariar's report, but I think this is area where that last year recorded major progress. And if you go to the website, you can recognize the updated website and the communication tool, Zoom, or maybe this rocket chat is quite an advantage and also progress compared to the before pandemic. Conclusion itself is a continuation from last year. I still underscore 4 areas. One is a center of excellence as a credit analysis. We have to advance and improve methodology and the credit analysis. And on the ground of financial stability assessments, every agency has an advantage regarding to their assessment of the financial system of respect countries' financial system. And potential systemic risk in Asia, as I highlighted to the Asian crisis, contagion is unpredictable. And so this can be a kind of a collective thinking and to identify what will be a next source of risk. So this is important. And finally, that the most important focus for me as a new committee chair of the ESG committee, we have to harmonizing about sustainable financing evaluations. Right now, many new modality of sustainable finance is coming. Someone may go into the greenwash ostensive standards and ostensive green bonds. So how can we avoid of this sort of greenwash financing method? Then this is one of the area of forthcoming years. So as a result, and we'd like to conclude over those 2 years term, and I'd like to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, Santi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for your report. And we do have we gave you advance copies of the chairman's report. So could you just kindly go through it again and take note of those important things that are more important to you. The next item in the agenda, Mr. Chairman, is the Secretary General's report. That includes also the financial report. I have given, ladies and gentlemen, advance copy of my Secretary General's report, and may I just invite you to read through that again. But let me just highlight one point there, because I am suggesting to the board that a theme that we might adopt for the next 2 years is what I call working better together by learning from each other. I will repeat. Working better together by learning from each other. And if you might notice, ladies and gentlemen, that is how we have more or less structured our organization, our work units for the coming 2 years. Because my point really is that even after 20 years, we haven't really discovered the full potential for good of ACRAA. So we must really try to learn from each other and work together in these new challenging times that provide at the same time the opportunities. So that is all I wanted to highlight in my Secretary General's report. In my report, I have included the membership report, which I already, in fact, have presented to you much earlier. But what I would like to just do a fast review for you are the activities we undertook in the 2021 this year. And we had activities every month as never we had. And this has been aided by technology, and thanks a lot to Ms. Farial Fahim. So here we are. But even then, before we started in December with a webinar with, in December, yes, we had with Mr. Toro Yamadera. And then we had these events. That's Green, Social, and Sustainable Bonds in March. 2 events in March, actually. The second one was with the Asian Bankers Association. In April, an ECOS session on green bonds. May 28, we started our update on market developments, starting with India and China. And Christine Zhang was our presenter from China. Christine is here. Hi, Christine. Hi, Christine.
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
And then in June, we had updates on the capital markets of Malaysia, courtesy of RAM Ratings, and that's Mr. Chong, and Thailand, courtesy of Mr. Sakda. In July, we had capital market updates from Bangladesh, CRISIL, from Mr. Muzaffar Ahmed, and from Pakistan, from Mr. Shahzad Salim. Mr. Salim is here. Mr. Salim, how are you? Thank you. Mr. Salim, are you still here? And then in August, we had Taiwan and Japan, part of a series. So scroll somewhere, in September, we had the joint ratings platform concept of Mr. Fahim Ahmad together with Mr. Mizon. In October, we had the Chief Ratings Officers Roundtable Part 1. We had 6 speakers. And this gave us a lot of participation and a lot of different perspectives. And Part 2 was focused again on ESG factors and evolving risks. Thank you to Mr. Xavier Jean, courtesy of Ms. Grace Lee. So, and now we have our conference and annual meeting. So it has been a very full year, and we congratulate ourselves, but especially to our chairman, Mr. Masuda, and to our board of directors, Mr. Fahim Ahmad, Vice Chairman, Ms. Grace Lee, Ms. Parial, Fahim, and Mr. Muzaffar Ahmed. Can we just take note of this report, my Secretary General's report? And now may I go to the financial report. This report consists of, 4 statements really. Here is our balance sheet. These are audited reports. We have a cash in bank of $204,000, receivables of $10,500. Those receivables represent annual dues which have not been remitted yet. So we expect we will collect on those, representing 3 members. The accrued expenses represent mainly 2 things. One, the auditor's fee of $700 US, and the balance are really what we owe VIS for the advance payments they have made for our redesign of website and what do you call this, upgrading of our telecommunication system. But we will settle that after this annual meeting. So those are still accrued. Our fund balance is $215,000. The $10,000 is the excess of revenues over expenses in this year. By the way, for those who are new, our fiscal year ends October 31 of every calendar year. So these are our revenues. We have our membership fees. Our membership fees are $2,000 per member every year. The $3,000, there are the entry fees of, is it Infomerics, Mitch? Yeah. That's the entry fees of Infomerics. The interest income is very, very small, and the board has noticed that. And it has been because the interest rates had dived very low, and that was about the best we could do we are doing something about our placements anyway. So the total expenses is 46,000 and the excess of revenues is 10,890. These are the cash flows. They really derive from the income statement and the balance sheet. So at the cash at end of fiscal year is $204,000, an increase from $188,000 a year ago. But I think it's more interesting, more relevant for the membership to see our funds status statement here. I will repeat what I usually say every year. We use two banks. One is Equicom Savings Bank, and another is the BDO Universal Bank. BDO is the biggest bank in the Philippines. Equicom Savings Bank, that is really more a convenience, but this is owned by the owner of the majority owner of Phil Ratings and CIBI Information. If it's here in Phil Ratings, I am a director. So they are what we might call a very friendly bank. In the Equicom Savings Bank, we have a dollar savings account. You will see there $104,000. That is what we use for operating expenses. And we have there also a dollar account, which is really just a placement that we roll over this time every 6 months. The BDO is a dollar time deposit that is also rolled over every 6 months. So we have those dollar accounts totaling $200,971. We have also a peso account, which is really for the peso payments that we have to pay, like communications and what they call this, miscellaneous expenses and share of expenses in our office. And that is 153,841 pesos. And translated, you add the peso and the dollar account, that adds up to what you see as $204,000 in the balance sheet. Mr. Chairman, members of ACRAA, this is our audited statement, which I present for the approval. I would be happy to entertain questions. We are in good financial position. If there are no questions, Mr. Chairman, may I request a motion to approve?
Okay,
So-
who is taking on a motion?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded, therefore, Mr. Chairman. So we shall consider these audited statements approved, and we shall so record it in our minutes.
Okay.
Thank
please
you very
proceed.
much. The next item is our committee report. We shall concentrate, members of ACRAA, on two very important committees, the New Horizons and Upper Desk, and the Communications Committee. The membership and the financial reports and have already been reported. So we are concentrating on these two very key and really very key committees for now and for the future. So may I call on Director Grace Lee to make her committee report. Grace?
Yes. Hi, Sandy. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Grace Lee. Now let me report the activity under the New Horizons Committee and the ACRAA desk for 2021. Next page, please.
You want me to? Okay, I'm just going to play it right now. Sorry,
you.
just one
Thank you,
second,
Barry.
Grace.
Page 2, please.
Nice. nice.
Thank you. Thank you. This is a quick look back regarding how the New Horizon Committee started with its key objectives. I believe you all have seen this several times, so I will not go through them this time. Next page, please. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the activities of New Horizon committees continue to focus on how to raise the global visibility of ACRAA and its member rating agencies. Later on, I will also share with you on our new proposals for 2022. Next pages, please. First, on the global visibility, let me start by recapping what we have done in 2021. We undertook the following 4 activities. Firstly, thanks to Communications Committee's initiative to enhance ACRAA's website and the interaction among ACRAA members via social media platform, Rocky Chat. Secondly, new ACRAA's thematic webinars. This is ACRAA's new initiative to have monthly webinars during the COVID-19 pandemic. Sandy has run through them earlier, so I will not go into the details. Thirdly, thanks to all members' assistance to update on the Asia Credit Rating Guidebook for the 2020 version and post it onto the website in May this year. Lastly, we should maintain our relationship with the media and the market and keep them updated on our annual meetings and the 20th anniversary conference. Next page, please. The following 2 pages are to refresh our memories for attending a monthly webinar. Please feel free to listen to the replay if you miss any of them. Next page, please. Next page, please. As you know, our flagship publication, Asia Credit Rating Guidebook, will be updated every 2 years. Previous page, please. Yes, thank you. I would like to take this opportunity to remind all members to participate in this activity, and we do need your assistance to provide us with your valuable information completing this unique guidebook. Next page, please. For your information, this is the latest table of regulatory rating requirements in Asia. Since the regulations will be changed from time to time, I would like to urge all of you to provide us with the latest update, and we will then share with all ACRAA members. As Sandy mentioned earlier, working better together by learning from each other. So we should help each other to keep it updated. Thank you. Let's move on to the next page.
Thank you very much, Grace. Are there any questions or comments on the presentation of Grace?
I haven't finished, Sandy. Please let me finish.
Okay. I thought, I'm sorry, Grace.
On the new proposals, these conference
Sorry.
topics as suggested by Sandy, for ACRAA's activities in 2022. In fact, CCSI also provide us with their suggestions for the future activities. So I believe that we will discuss them in due course. And also, like Sandy mentioned earlier, what will the credit rating business be like in the next 10 years will also be taken into consideration as one of the topics for next conference. Next page, please. Now, let me move on to the update on ACRAA Desk activities in 2021. We had 2 joint webinars with ACRAA this year. One was in March on the green opportunities in the financial and the capital markets, supported by TRIS, Golden Credit, and JCR, with 260 registers. Next page, please. The other one was in August, concerning the updates on Japan and Taiwan's capital markets, supported by JCR and the TRC, with 280 registers. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the speakers and the audience for your support. Lastly, the ACRAA Desk invited ACRAA Chairman, Mr. Eugene Azevedo, as one of our keynote speakers, and we have all seen him earlier. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your support on our New Horizons Committee. As Sandy mentioned earlier, the New Horizon will be spread over to several committees next year. So we do look forward to more collaborations in the near future with all members. Thank you again for your attention, and that's all from me. I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grace, and my apologies for interrupting in the middle of your presentation.
No problem.
Are there any questions or comments on Grace's presentation? I have one. May I just start with a comment and a suggestion? Grace, we look forward to having a joint conference with the European Association of Credit Rating Agencies on any one or of those conference topics that you had shown to us. That would be really great, because we haven't since COVID-19, we haven't had much work together with them. But once we can get together again face to face, I think that's what they prefer, and we can invite them to come to Asia. The last 2 times, it was ACRAA that went to Europe. But this time they can come to Asia, perhaps Taipei. Okay, are there any comments, please? Thank you very much, Grace, for your continuing. You thank us for your support, but it's you who has been giving all the major support for all the activities of ACRAA through your New Horizons Committee or Asia Credit Rating Credit Outlook Book, and so many other things coordinating with ABA. If there are no comments, may I now call on Farial to make her committee report on communications.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Santi. Thank you, everybody else who's present here right now. So my name is Farial, and I was given the responsibility of the communications committee. When we started so this is the first time for me for being on ACRAA's board these last 2 years. And I think when we started off as the board of 2020, we did not know what we were getting into and how the pandemic would really change everything that we did. And neither did I at that point in time understand the importance of the communication committee. But as we entered into the pandemic and the lockdown, the communications committee really had to step up and I think We had to do certain immediate, and just like Mr. Santee mentioned before as well, that we had to make real-time decisions to actually get the committee and to get the organization going, or else we would have been in a stalemate. So we started the year with a few objectives in mind, and these objectives were initially shared with us, and we had brainstormed to see what the communications committee would be doing. And a few things that came out very important was that we needed channels for instantaneous communication for all ACRAA members. We needed virtual presence became acceptable, because I mean, before the pandemic, it was understood that everybody would physically come at some place. But virtual presence is now quite acceptable and actually quite advantageous at some point in time as well, cost and time savings, and of course the restrictions that we had for. So this was where we started off early 2020, and we then decided to have 4 initiatives we had at that point in time. One was to immediately revamp the website. It was a little outdated at that point in time. It was not so user friendly. So that was one thing that we were doing. Then we had been asked to develop a communication platform, which, where all members could be present and we could discuss, chat, because we weren't going to be meeting physically. We needed social media presence was another thing that was identified for ACRAA's visibility going forward, given that we are now entering into a time when social media is a very, very big component of any sort of marketing or visibility. So that was another area. And of course, then the Zoom platform that we wanted to use to be together at for the conferences. And I think we've had an extremely busy year, this one especially. It took us a little while in 2020 to just get us all organized in how we wanted to do it. But I think 2021 has been extremely successful, as we have heard from Mr. Santee, given all the activities that we did. Our new website is live. It went live early this year, and I would urge all of you to go and visit it, www.acraa.com. It is a very clean, neat looking business website that easy to navigate, user friendly. You can get to all our members there. You have, it is connected to all the member websites as well. So you can directly access all our members. You can get their information. ACRAA's team is present there. Their contacts information has been given. The best practices guidelines, we've outlined there. Any publications that ACRAA has been doing, they are also available there. I think the biggest addition, which has been which can be most useful, is all the recordings of every event that we've had this year is available there. They're YouTube videos, so extremely easy for you to watch on your laptops, on your phone, anything, any place I think the best thing that has come out of this year. New membership registration is also now available on the website, plus the registration for any of the events. So basically we list down events there that are upcoming in the year, and very soon we'll have 2022's events listed there, and then you can go yourself, your members of your the member CRAs can also go there and register. These are just some snapshots of the new website, which I would urge all of you to go and check. And, I think you will all really like the new feel and look of that website. Then we also had the idea of a real-time platform, which you are all now members of, a platform called Rocket Chat. The idea was really to have a very instantaneous messaging platform, because we have CRAs from different jurisdictions. Therefore, using any one app became difficult to us, and we decided to go with Rocket Chat. We had a very successful event on Rocket Chat, which was a day-long interaction between all the members. We shared some videos on it. We shared some presentations on it. And we plan on doing more of such events. I think there are a few challenges that we face, but I think the board and all of us together can get through them. We just need to keep active on the platform, which is, and we're more than happy to entertain any ideas. Plus, I think if we keep regular events on the platform, then, that would just also mean that members are coming on it and we can discuss with one another. We just need to create more traction, which inshallah we'll be doing this year coming forward. Social media presence, we had some ideas of going onto Facebook or Insta or onto LinkedIn. However, the board then decided that we should delay this just a little bit for this year, and let's see how the rest of our communication areas develop, and then we'll do that. So I think hopefully this year we may be looking at this and getting into it. We just need this to also be updated on a regular basis and have content which is useful to everybody who's coming onto our social media page. Virtual meetings, we're presently in one, and we've had very successful virtual meetings throughout the year. We've had more than a month event every month for the last year. We were able to invite speakers from industry, both CRAs and other, for the benefit of all members. And I think it is largely decided that we will keep a kind of a hybrid model whereby physical interaction may commence, but we will definitely keep our virtual interaction alive, because we feel that that is not only cost benefit to attendees, but we are able to reach out to a larger audience this way. And it also is time efficient for participants, not having to fly over to a destination and being there. But of course, there is that benefit of meeting everybody. So maybe 2 or 3 times a year we can do that, and the remaining part we will continue with our virtual interaction. So this year's schedule we shall be sharing shortly, and we look forward to having all of you on board. And if you have any ideas or anything that can assist us in making our channels better for the coming year, I would be more than happy to be of assistance and would like your feedback on that too. So once again, I mean, we all understand that in this time and age, communication channels and being active and being real time is what is going to take us forward. So thank you very much, and hope to see you all in the next year.